Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. I've got another G.I. Joe video for you today. This time we're going to take a look at the Hiya Toys G.I. Joe Cobra Commander.
Welcome to the party, pal!
Okay, like in the intro I mentioned, we are going to take a look at the G.I. Joe Cobra Commander Hiya Toys Exquisite Mini figure. And here he is in package, just like the Star Trek figures and just like the Judge Dredd figures, the last few Judge Dredd figures anyways. We got a card back with a bubble image of the character, an artist, I guess an artist rendition of the character. And on the back here we have some glamour shots of the figure in action. I have to admit, this figure looks really, really good. Love this card back. Love the chrome on the visor there. As I mentioned in the haul video, I do have quite a few Cobra Commanders, so I will get all of those out and we'll do a comparison, this figure against those. But that is the packaging. Let's go ahead and get him open. Okay, so here is Cobra Commander out of packaging, and he is quite awesome, I can say, right off the bat. I think you could see how awesome that chrome on the helmet, on the mask is. He is just a little bit different than the other figures that I've opened on the channel, including Storm Shadow and Firefly, who I just did. I did open Snake Eyes as well, but I did that on an Instagram live, so that video is not here on the channel. So this is the fourth Hiya Toys G.I. Joe that I've opened, and he is really good. In fact, I like him more than the Firefly, and he is a modern interpretation. I think of this version as the cartoon sort of version, but you know, brought up to speed, modern articulation, modern uniform look, but keeping those characteristics of the cartoon and how he appeared in a lot of the comic books. He does come with the stand that we've seen now with this line. Looks like some kind of a, you know, landscape with one peg and some shell casings, spent bullets strewn across the ground. It comes with the two H or I clips. It does come with an extra pair of hands. They're both trigger hands, a left and right trigger hands. All his hands are gloved because he does have a holding hand, a gripping hand, and a pointing hand that he comes with right on. So great. I mean, this is what you need for the leader. He's giving some kind of a speech. You know, he's ranting about something, world domination. He also comes with the sort of the traditional classic hairdryer pistol. Again, this is like Hiya's interpretation of this gun. It's cool. All solid black. Comes with the Cobra baton, which I like a lot. Nice gold. There is some sculpting articulation there in the Cobra head. In the back, there's a texture there. And he comes with the Cobra dagger, which fits into the scabbard on the leg. Again, a lot of sculpting in the dagger. Fits in nicely and tight. And that's it. So he's got 3 accessories, extra pair of hands, and a stand. I'm not counting the stand as an accessory, but I guess it is though technically. But that's it. So he has how should I say, he has way less stuff, accessories, than the other figures that we've opened. But this is just enough for Cobra Commander. He doesn't need much more than this for this version. Now, if they did this version, I would expect a few things more. Or even one of these versions from the movies, which I don't think they'll do. But I love the blue. I love the red stripe. I've always liked this uniform. Very cool. Great modern, you know, update to Cobra Commander. Let's go over articulation really quick. He does have a double barbell head, neck. He has a ball hinge shoulders. He doesn't have the bicep swivel. So the other three that I've opened, Firefly, Storm Shadow, and Snake Eyes, have the bicep swivel. He does not. At least that's how I remember it. Or the other ones. This one, it's missing that point of articulation, which tells me that Hiya is kind of doing these, they're looking at the character. This is not a ninja. He doesn't necessarily, it's always nice to have extra points of articulation, but he is missing that. Even the Firefly had it. He is missing that point. But everything else is pretty much the same. He's got the ball joint at the waist, which is what I think Firefly had, but he was so limited with that vest that he couldn't do that kind of pose, even though he had that ball joint there. He has the ball hinged wrists, single hinge at the elbow. He has the drop down hips that have now become kind of standard with Hiya, the thigh swivel, double hinge at the knee, and the rocker pivot ankle. So he's, besides the bicep swivel, he's got, he's fully modernized, more than these other versions here. Easily now my new favorite. Now, speaking of favorites, before I open this guy, let's put him in another one of those poses. Victory pose. This was my favorite. This is from, what is it? Resolute. This is the Resolute version. I've always really liked this version. This is my go-to Cobra Commander over all of these other ones. I should say too, I missed this in the Firefly video. I have more Cobra Commanders than this, just like I actually have more Fireflies than were in that Firefly video. This is my loose collection. There are several that I have loose that I don't have mint on card, and there's several that I have mint on card that I don't have loose. For example, for Cobra Commander, I know I have the Renegades version and these like Snow Parka version from Pursuit of Cobra. I know I have those mint on card that I do not have loose. I think I have all of these mint on card except these two. The rest of these I have mint on card. But so, and I missed that in the Firefly video to let you guys know that I have more than this. I just wasn't able to get them all out because many of them are packed away. But I do have a few more than this, but it doesn't always, it's not equal all the time. Some I have loose, some I don't. Some I have mint on card, some I don't have loose. But this is my favorite Cobra Commander. His helmet does come off. You could see here, they've never quite gotten the chrome right. This time they did, Hiya did. He has the dagger, very similar to that one. This one came with sort of the Luger pistol. He also comes with a sword. And this sort of shoulder piece does come off. Unfortunately, though, he does have this hard plastic comma, like Star Wars, I guess I'll call it a comma. And so this one can't really sit down. But he is my favorite. I've always liked this one. Until today, he was my favorite. This is my new favorite. This is my other second favorite here. I love this version. I know a lot of people don't like this version, but I do. I love it when the bad guy, it reminds me of Lex Luthor when he got his sort of power suit. And, when these bad guys, they sort of level up. He went a little sci-fi here. He's got the jetpack. He's got sort of the laser pistol. He also has a helmet that comes off. I'd love Hiya to do this version. I don't think that they will, but I would like them to do that. I would army build this guy as a trooper if they did. But I really like this version. I always have. Very cool. I love the blue. I love the armor. I love the whole thing. But this is a 25th anniversary version. These are the two of the movie versions, and I know right off the top of my head, I do have both of these mint on card, and I also have the red version of this one mint on card. Red meaning this is the blue jacket. There's one with a red jacket, but I do have these two and that red one on mint on card. These are quite easy to come by, as these were not very popular. You know, the movie, a lot of people, I know G.I. Joe, hardcore G.I. Joe people were disappointed in the movie. This is another thing that I left out with the Firefly video that I have mentioned before, but I don't know if I have here on YouTube. But there was like this big backlash after the Rise of Cobra movie, and a lot of Joe fans, I think a knee-jerk reaction or whatever it was, they started selling their collections on eBay, and I was right there to pick them up. I picked up a ton of Joe's really, really cheap, opened, loose, and these were two of them. I did end up getting them mint on card later, and I actually like this version. I actually like this. I like the armor. It's weird. I don't see this as Cobra Commander, but I do like the design of this guy, but he's not my Cobra Commander as much as, you know, these sort of classic ones or a hooded one is. But I was able to buy lots of collections very cheap, just like I was with Star Wars after The Last Jedi. A lot of people were upset with Last Jedi. They started dumping their collections, and I was there to grab them. This version I like a lot least than that one. This one does have the hairpiece. Comes with I think they're the nanos, right? That was what it was in the movies. They were the nanos. So he does have a suitcase. I see a lot of people use these bucks as customs because they don't see them as Cobra Commander, and it is a pretty good buck, this one. When I would buy those lots, every now and then someone would have O-rings in there. And so this was one of them. There was an O-ring. I've got lots of O-rings actually, but they weren't mine when I was a kid. Probably have like 10, 15 O-rings that I'd buy these collections of modern Joes, and there would be an O-ring in there. This was one of them. I think he's missing the tube or something right here. And it has a 1997 date on the leg here. So I don't know whose this is, but you can see this is the O-ring version of this guy here. Just another Cobra Commander. You can see how little he is. These true 375 guys, they're smaller than so many of these other figures. But he was in there in one of those lots that I got. And so was this guy. I'll just say that. I don't know if this was someone's custom. I don't know if this was what version of Cobra Commander it is. It is a hooded version, right? I'm not sure that this is actually a real Cobra Commander. Someone kit bashed this, because I know this lower leg came with maybe a tank driver. I'm not sure if someone made this guy or if this is a 25th anniversary Cobra Commander. I do have mint on card the darker blue hooded version that I actually bought last year at one of the toy shows. It's here on the channel in one of my hauls, and I packed it away with my mint on card figures, so I don't have it here to share. I don't have any of the mint on card here to share with you, but I do have the darker blue version of this hooded Cobra Commander. I doubt that we'll ever see the hooded Cobra Commander, but maybe we might. I thought there's a slight chance that we could, because these Joes are embargoed here in North America, meaning that's why they're hard to get, because you have to buy them from an online retailer that's overseas. I don't believe the overseas people have and I'm speaking very generally, that they have the same negative connotations of the hooded person that in the United States exists. So maybe Hiya, I don't know, Hasbro probably has the final say on that, whether that they could do a hooded Cobra Commander. But I guess it's possible, because someone, say in Japan or Korea, or even someone in England might not have the same thoughts about a hooded person that people here in the United States do. So I guess it's possible. I would love to see it because I've always liked the hooded version. But this is my favorite version. Then this is second. This would be third. But maybe we'll see that. This one does have a sword. He does have a pistol. I just don't think that this is. I think this was someone's custom. It was in one of those lots, so I'm not sure about this one. This final one here, this is the I guess the newest Hasbro version. This was one of the Walmart exclusive Cobra Commanders. The line, and I think the line only got to about 12 to 15 figures before it was killed. Walmart exclusive. He does come with the classic hairdryer gun, that and a removable knife here. His helmet also comes off, but I remember being quite disappointed with this figure. You can't put the gun here in the back. I don't know if it's the plastic they use. It does have the rocker ankles, so he was brought up to speed, and he is a real 4-inch, but just this one's just not that good. I don't know what it is about it. I was just disappointed. Now the Destro, which I think was a repack of the 50th anniversary one, it's really good, and so was the Grunt, so was the Stalker. The Lady J wasn't so good. This Cobra Commander isn't that good. It was just a miss. They just missed here with this figure. But I think this is the newest Hasbro version of Cobra Commander, which I think is fairly easily to get still on the secondary market. And then, and the final Cobra Commander that I have is this one here. This is a 5 POA one that came with a tank. And he's been in my fodder box because I was thinking I could use this head for something. I don't have the tank anymore. I tried to do a custom or something with it, and it didn't turn out. I ended up getting rid of it, but I kept the figure. Nice sculpting. He does have this sort of machine gun on his arm there. But overall, it's okay figure for a 5 POA, but he's been in the fodder box. I don't really count these two as in my collection. They're in my collection. I'm showing them to you now, but they're not ones that I would ever, go to use for a photo or to play with or anything like that. All right, let's do some size comparisons and then we'll wrap this up. All right, here is the Skeletron Wolf Trooper and Boss Fight Studio Flash Gordon with the Hiya Toys Cobra Commander, and you can see they're all 1/18. They're perfectly in scale. Okay, and here's Cobra Commander with a couple of Star Wars Vintage Collection Mandalorians. We've got Boba Fett and his father Jango, and they are true 375, but you can see they're not too far off. So Cobra Commander must be just about 4 inches. Okay, and for the final size comparison, here's some Toys Alliance Acid Rain figures. We've got Hidoshi and one of the Red Crows, and again, they look right in line. Hidoshi's a tad bit taller, and maybe the Red Crow is too. It's hard to tell. They are all wearing helmets, so I assume that they're all just about the same size. Okay, so final thoughts on the Hiya Toys Exquisite Mini Cobra Commander, and this is a great figure. We've got, I think, right now, the best definitive 1/18 scale Cobra Commander there is. Of course, there's several different uniforms Cobra Commander can wear. I did show the one, I do have the 25th anniversary that I showed you with the sort of Iron Man suit. There's also hooded Cobra Commander. So there are other versions that they can do, and hopefully they'll get to them. But for now, I think this is the best one. If I have any little criticism, it'd probably be no bicep swivel. Elbows don't bend quite that much, and there's not that many accessories, especially when you compare him to the other figures that we've looked at, Storm Shadow, Firefly, and I have the Snake Eyes too, which has got an abundance of accessories. But for Cobra Commander, this is enough. This is what you need, and you get it here. The chrome helmet, I think, goes a long way. The uniform, the sculpt is, modern take, and he's got the rocker ankle, and the thigh swivel. So this guy is a modern. He looks great, and he is ready to lead your Cobra army. So that's the video, guys. Thank you for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I will see you in the next one. Bye.